Over the last couple of years, one of my absolutely favourite new bands are Queensryche, and I'm lucky enough to have in the studio with me today Chris Tagana and Geoff Tate from Queensryche.
Hi, Mick.
How you doing, boys?
Glad to be here.
Now, I've just called you one of my favourite new bands. A lot of people have been saying that. I've heard Steve Harris of Iron Maiden say that. I've heard Ronnie Dio say that. I've heard Gene Simmons of Kiss say that. How do you account for all this praise you're getting from all these different people, me included?
Well,
We've toured with
haven't.
them. Paid them vast amounts of money to say good things about us. No, not really.
Well, what is it then? What's the secret? What's this appeal? Everybody seems to love the band. Everybody keeps saying you're the new thing. It's going to really happen. Why?
Well, that's hard to answer, really, you know, because we don't see ourselves in the same way, I guess.
Oh, you're being far too
No,
modest.
really, it's difficult to answer something like that. So I'll let Chris answer that.
Thanks, Geoff. Geoff has... I think we're very flattered to hear things like that.
Yeah.
We've had, I think, the chance to tour with all those acts, and we learned a lot.
That's right.
From playing.
And you
shows
had
with
actually
them.
toured with Kiss, played with Maiden, Dio.
Yeah.
But before that, you were really on the local circuit, weren't you, in Seattle, I think?
Actually, no, we'd never played live before.
Really? You went
Until
straight
after.
onto one of these massive tours?
Well, it wasn't a massive tour. I think the first show we played was, what, 4,000 people, something like that.
God.
We were very scared.
So you had to,
Yeah, shaking in our boots.
so you had to learn fast.
Yeah, luckily the band we were playing with, a band called Zebra, they had quite a stage setup.
Right.
We didn't have very much room to be on the stage, so we didn't have to move around a lot. So we just had to stand there and play, which was good for us. You know?
Yeah.
All right, so, who would you say your biggest musical influences were, if you had to name a couple like that?
Oh, Tom Jones,
Anybody else?
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Is that
One
because
of my
you...
all-time favorites.
Why, because they're big crooners? Is that how you see yourself, Geoff, as a big crooner?
No, because I guess they're 40 years old and they look good.
All right, enough of this. Look, we're going to see what Queensryche are really like. This is Queensryche and Queen of the Reich. Two of your videos in the past, we've often shown Queensryche videos. It's quite obvious to me that you're quite what I'd call an image-conscious band. How important is it for a new band to have, you know, the right image, would you say?
Well, I think a lot of bands tend to concentrate on that a lot. Some do more than their music, you know. I think we've sort of taken the opposite approach and began by really trying to write good songs, you know, above all else.
Right.
And I think just lately we've gotten more image conscious.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Do you have your clothes made for you, or do you go out and buy them at selected stores and things?
Well, we actually...
Recently, we've been able to afford to have some of the stuff made for us. Actually, in Seattle, where we've spent the majority of the time writing the record, there's not a very exciting fashion selection,
So
you
you've
know,
had to
of
get them
anything.
made.
So we kind of just have things made in vast sorts of colors, like black. And so
Of course, I'm only asking you this because I want fashion tips myself. You know, I mean, if you can give me a...
You are a snappy dresser, aren't you?
I'm known for it, yes, known for it.
I think, though, as time goes on and, you know, we get more money to invest into our show, you know, our music's, we try and write it with lots of mental visuals, you know, very atmospheric. So I think the presentation with, I think what we're wearing, and as well as the visual stage presentation, is going to become more elaborate as time goes on.
All right, now getting back to the music, you've got a brand new album which is just about to come out. It's called...
Rage for Order.
Now, I haven't heard the new album yet, I must confess, but a friend of mine told me he heard some of it and he described it as total melodic noise. Now, how do you explain that? What does that mean?
Well, that's his idea of it.
Well, he told me that it was a very complex piece of music. Would you go along with that?
Well, the album deals with quite a few different approaches to the title, Rage for Order.
Right.
Order in personal life, order in the world, you know, that kind of thing. It's definitely an album I think you have to listen to a few times to really catch the drift of it.
All right, we'll talk some more about that in a minute. Let's have a look more at some more Queensryche now, and this is The Warning. The Warning, Queensryche. Chris, Geoff, now...
Mick.
Hi. I've seen a lot of your videos, and they look like very interesting, fun things to do. Would you agree with that? Would you say making videos was an overrated part of your job?
Well, I think it's definitely an extension of what we do that is challenging.
Right.
You've got the recording end, the live aspect, and then now video, which is, it's very difficult to do, I think.
Yeah.
For me personally, but you know, it's challenging and worth it, I think.
Which leads me to the next question. How come we haven't got a brand new Queensryche video we can show today? That's what I want to know.
Well, actually, we're leaving very soon back to the States, and we'll be making a video for. I don't know if we've decided quite yet what track we're doing it for. It's either going to be "Walk in the Shadows," which is our first single in the States, or "Gonna Get Close to You,"
Right.
which is a cover version of a Del Bello song that we did. Either one of those two, which we'll be making very soon. So we've kind of been against the wall since we got out of the studio. Against the wall, since we. That was bad. Sorry. Since we got out of the studio, you know, working, Jeff and I doing publicity and things, so soon.
Well, as soon as you get the
Queensryche
video, let's have it on the show. And another question here. Now, it's been nearly, well, in fact, over 18 months since we last saw you in Europe and Britain playing with Dio, I think, at the time. When are you coming back? I mean, we miss you. It's a long time. You've got the album. When are you going to play?
Well, we have commitments in the U.S. first, which is, I believe, July 31st we start touring.
Right.
And we hope to be here in November for a European tour.
November. Well, we're going to hold you to that. All right. Now, we're going to go out on a video which you two have picked specially for the show for me. What have you picked?
It's AC/DC's new video. As Jeff was just mentioning, touring, we're going to start our stateside tour with AC/DC, July 31st, and then after about 5 weeks, then we start with Ozzy Osbourne. So since we've run out of clips of our own, we've selected AC/DC. This is
All right.
made him.
Well, thank you very much for coming in the studio, guys. I hope you come back in the next time you come and actually play in Britain. All right? Chris DeGarma and Jeff Tate from Queensryche.